Hello, Lisa Richard here with Loving Energy Recharge, coming in to do the Inner Alchemy reading for February the 1st, leading us through to the 7th. Inner Alchemy is a blend of the teachings of human design, branching that off into the gene keys, and incorporating some tools as a more than existing Lightworker coach. Now, today is February the 4th, which means we are already a couple days in to this Inner Alchemy reading, and we're really looking at the gateway of the listener. For those who are following the turning of the mandala wheel and very much looking at the pattern of the different gates that we go through, of the different astrological signs, really coming into the awareness of there is a pattern that we can follow through the course of the year to anchor ourselves into understanding the inner alchemy that is available for our own self-reflection, our own inner growth, and really helping us to gain the balance and the stability as a sensitive, as an empath, to navigate this world that we are in. Now, there is a lot of talk right now about the coming year of the fire horse. There's a lot of talk about the coming eclipse energy. We're going to touch on those different components, and I'm not an astrologer. This is information that is coming through from what is available to us. We live in a global age where so many different modalities exist. We have access to so much information. That information requires discernment. It requires you trusting in your intuition to guide you through, filtering through what feels right for you, and trusting in the path that you are here to walk. So we're using the tools that are given to us. We're using the capabilities of using AI for the highest good, to help sift through a lot of information, to help bring us into clarity. But most importantly, in this fast-changing world, we're really being asked to think for ourselves. So we're looking at these patterns right now and through what is known as the gate of the listener. This is gate or gene key number 13 within your human design chart, within your gene keys profile. It is one of the gateways through Aquarius season. So we're still in that element of air. We're still in that energy of abrupt changes and transformation. But we've reached this gateway right now, this time of the listener. The listener marks the halfway point between the winter solstice and the coming spring equinox. It is literally the point where we pause. We pause to reflect back on the journey that we have walked. We pause to come inwards to check to see, are we in alignment to the path that is of your calling, your truth, your direction? And it can be so easy to get pushed off course when we are paying too much attention to what others are doing, or we're caught in the energy of what is occurring within the collective. So this is a very mindful time to come back into your own self, your own grounding, your own awareness, and really appreciating the journey that you have walked through 2025, through the year of the snake. And that year of the snake is not done yet. You are approaching the last quarter mile. It's almost like coming into the rattle of the rattlesnake. So things are really starting to get loud. They're starting to get chaotic. It's starting to shake things up. There's an anticipation that you're going to reach the end of that. But if anything, it requires more self-reflection, more standing within your own truth, more shutting out the distractions and the noise of the world to go the full distance for what you came here to transform. Now, it's no mistake that we're coming into that solar eclipse and the full moon right before we change over to the year of the fire horse. So that February the 17th, the date of the solar eclipse, that full moon energy, the new moon energy, it is such a pivotal point for us because it literally is the ending of that year of the snake, the ending of the journey that you have been in through your own transformation. And what comes on the other side of that, what comes on the February 18th, is we enter in through what is known as gate number 55, abundance. It is the shadow of either staying in the victim or moving into the gift, the Sooty of freedom. That is why there is such ownership right now in attuning to your energy, paying attention to your nervous system, clearing out the thoughts that are not of your highest truth, working through your own self-sabotages, finding your clarity, finding your balance, knowing where you are going so that you can enter into the year of the fire horse, this fast-paced energy, this yang energy. So it's a double fire. It is all about going and action and moving forward. But if you don't have the clarity of who is showing up at the start of the season of the horse, which version of you is leading the way, where you are headed, what is your goals, what is your race, what is your desires, then there's going to be a lot of chaotic energy that is not serving the highest good. And that is why we have this pivotal point right now in this time of listening, to bear witness to the stories of life, to bear witness to the experiences of others, to really reflect on our own stories, our own journeys, to learn from the ancestors, to see how the pattern keeps repeating itself over and over and over again. It's not random. When you do a Google search on history, you will see that history tends to repeat itself. There's always certain energies at play that come together at certain pivotal moments. What is new is this version of you that is showing up within the energy, looking at it from a point of view of whether you have incorporated the wisdom from the past and have moved up, spiraled up in your own journey through that rotation of its reoccurring energy. So it may feel sometimes like you're repeating the same things over and over again, but you may not be aware of how much more awareness you are getting within that energy and how it has been spiraling you up to help you move into the next level, your own ascension, your own maturity, and your own growth within that. So coming inwards to really reflect on who is showing up right now. How are you doing in terms of your mental health, your physical health, your emotional health? These are all things that truly matter. We so often forget that our intuition speaks to us through the body. And as a sensitive, as an empath, you likely feel the world to a very high degree, meaning it can be so overwhelming at times to be so tuned into the energy. And if nobody taught you that your sensitivity was a gift, if nobody taught you to use it as a reference point to see where things are at, but not to hold it, if nobody taught you how to relax yourself within energies that don't feel to be so good, then that means that you're here in this lifetime to learn to parent yourself. We are all on a journey to grow emotionally, spiritually, to embrace the sensitivity, to welcome in a deeper connection to others, to the collective, to Mother Earth, our environment, and knowing that all of these things matter. It matters what you put into your body. It matters the quality of water you drink. It matters the quality of food you ingest. It matters the thoughts that you are pouring into your heart. It all matters. And the children coming into the world, they're being born with this heightened sense of sensitivity. They are prepared for a greater coming together in the unity, in our ascension, in this movement within the golden age. So we are shifting, we are evolving as a species, and we've gone through an incredible journey since December the 25th. A whole lot of stimulation down in our root center, using your human design chart, really looking at all of those activations within the collective, within yourself. This was coming through in the pressure of stress. Stress is there to stimulate our evolution. It is there to encourage us to change. It is there to gain an awareness as to, are you present? Are you staying actively present in your experiences? Or are you checking out? So we have traveled an incredible journey. We have been shedding away a lot of layers. We have been revealing a lot of truths, a lot of things that were previously hidden within the collective, within the self. They're all surfacing right now through this year of the snake, through this transformation, and it has not been easy. So this is a pause right now in the energy. It is a pause to have deep compassion for yourself, for others, for all of this transformation that is going on. It is your opportunity to bring in the gift of discernment, to sift through the information for yourself and to feel within your intuitive body what is correct for you, what is the right path for you. And yes, we can get so caught up in what the mainstream world is doing and all this hype right now about the coming of the fire horse, this yang energy, this go time, this time of ambition. And then you have all this language of, and it only occurs every 60 years, right? So there's this hype, there's this implication in the energy that if you don't get on board, you're going to miss out. So it starts to stimulate the FOMO, that fear of missing out. You may be feeling that pressure in your body that this is your go time and you better get on board. You better do things now. Here's where discernment comes in. And here is where I have purposely myself stepped back the last couple of days to gather clarity, to feel the energy deep within myself before coming in to share with anybody else. When we look at that information, that hype, it's once in every 60 years, there is a truth to that, but it also opens up the door to curiosity. And because I'm very curious in nature, I'm a Sagittarian, and Sagittarians love to explore. They love that element of adventure and curiosity. So trusting my intuition, I used AI, I used the power of Google, and I went on a journey to explore more about this coming year of the horse and what it really means. Now, it led me down a path of exploring Chinese astrology. That is where these animal symbols come from. In Chinese astrology, there are 12 animals that symbolize that turning of the wheel. So not unlike the 12 sections, the 12 astrological planets that we follow within a pattern in a year, there is a set pattern of 12 animals that also follow this rotation. Now, in Chinese astrology, in addition to the 12 animals, there are 5 elements. Each one of the elements appears twice because it appears in a yang, a masculine energy, and a yin, a feminine energy. This is balance. It's another time to really look at the patterns and the cycles and bringing things into the balance. So when you look at, yes, there are 12 of the animal signs. There are 5 elements that duplicate themselves. That means that each one of those animals and that particular element appear every 60 years. So yes, the fire horse is coming and it hasn't appeared for 60 years, but every single year, that animal, that element has also not appeared for 60 years. So using discernment, this really mindfully is an opportunity to slow down, to recognize that every single year of your journey has been a unique year for you. It has been a pivotal year. It has been a meaningful year. There is no one year that has been greater than another. What tends to stand in the way is we create expectations of what a year is going to be. And if you look back at your own journey, you might recognize a pattern within yourself or recognize a pattern out in the collective who has bought into the calendar year and January 1st being that new year, that change to another year, another number. And there's often a lot of talk around this time of, 2025 or whatever that current year is, that was so horrible. I can't wait for the next year. I can't wait for 2026. And then 2026 comes to an end and I can't wait for 2027. And then I can't wait for 2028. And when we really look at that energy and we reflect, it's like we're always waiting for something. And that something is always in the next phase. It's never here now. And when we really sit in that awareness of feeling like it's never here now, I've always got to chase it, I've got to anticipate it, I've got to grab it, we might come into the realization that, if we really slow down enough to embody what is here in front of us, to appreciate this gift of time, to appreciate this moment, to be present in the moment, to look at what the energy is teaching us, what the zodiac sign is teaching us, what the Chinese zodiac animal is teaching us, what the element we are in is teaching us. And also knowing how does that relate to your design. Before going into the year of the horse, the fire horse, it is so important to know what is your Chinese zodiac sign? What is your animal within that teachings? What is your element in relation to that sign? And that is where coming back to you, looking at your birth chart, looking at your human design chart, your astrology chart, your Chinese astrology chart, Vedic astrology, whatever it is, looking at you in relation to the whole provides the clarity as to what you are walking through in terms of your energy, in terms of the teaching component that is there for you, and bringing in the mindfulness within your own personal design so that you can focus on your own alignment, cultivating your own gifts, deepening the trust within yourself, and working through what your soul came here to experience. So let me share some information with you. I went on to Google this morning and I typed in, show me the relationship to the 5 elements in relationship to the coming year of the fire horse. In other words, each of us have one of those 5 elements dominant within our own design. It's looking at how your element is going to relate to this year of the fire horse, this yang energy, this masculine energy. Because the truth is, not every element is compatible with fire. Not every element responds the same way to fire. Not every animal in that Chinese zodiac is compatible with the zodiac that is here now, that fire horse coming in. So it is of awareness to yourself to get to know, well, what is your design? What is this year bringing for you? Not what the bandwagon is doing, not what the hype out in the collective is doing, not with this push of it's go time, you've got to make the most of it. What if that is not energetically correct for you? So here's a little bit of insight thanks to the power of Google, the power of being curious. And you can use Google to research your Chinese astrology and element based on your year of birth. If you are a wood element, this is all about growth and health. Wood naturally fuels the fire. So individuals with strong wood energy may see rapid advancement and creative success in 2026. However, this is an outward moving energy that can be depleted if not managed. So it comes with a warning. To prevent burnout, wood energy must be paced with rest and emotional regulation. If you are of a fire, there is fame and success for you, with the year of the fire horse representing the peak of that fire. This element is most vibrant. It promotes visibility, innovation, and leadership. But there's a warning. Excess fire can turn into emotional volatile. I can't even pronounce that word. Emotional conflict. Let's bring it into that, right? Too much fire can just fan the flames of that fire. It can come with impatience and it can come with burning bridges within relationships. If you are of the earth, it is stability and wealth. And in the 5-element theory, fire strengthens earth. It makes 2026 a potentially prosperous year for those seeking financial security and grounded foundations. For the horse specifically, the presence of an earth star, this is the 5 yellow within 2026, can actually intensify misfortune, requiring protective measures. Earth is foundation. If you don't protect the foundation of you, your boundaries, then misfortune can occur. If you are of metal, this is protection and support. Fire's intense heat is used to shape metal. And for those with metal energy, 2026 can be seen as a period of purification, where pressure refines your character and your instincts. So success depends on being flexible, learning from your challenges rather than resisting the fast pace of the year. And if you are of water, this is about career and wisdom. Water is the natural counterbalance to the year of the fire horse. And in 2026, water energy is considered missing. There's not going to be a lot of water. So that might lead to stagnant energy. Why? Because water puts out fire. Fire doesn't always enjoy being doused. So you may be at conflicts within that energy. Traditional practices then require that you bring the water cure to yourself, which means adding water into your home, adding more of the elements that reflect back to you your naturalness, using that to then temper against the heat that is going to be there. So not everybody's going to appreciate that energy of water you bring to the table. And this might be your time to really use the element of water, which is our intuitive body, to be the observer of what is happening in this energy, bringing it inwards to really reflect on what is your truth. So every single element adds something to the table. Every single human design chart, astrology chart, gene keys profile is unique to its individual, which means it's not about jumping on the bandwagon. It's not about jumping into the hype of the energy that's coming. It's not about setting yourself up with all these expectations for what you may believe it is to be, instead of allowing yourself to experience it one day at a time. Mindfulness, knowing who you are, knowing how you're showing up, understanding how your nervous system is talking to you, how your mind is talking to you, how your intuition is talking to you, knowing you is essential to move through any energy to come into the enlightenment of being able to spiral up. It's not random. Everything follows a pattern. Everything offers an opportunity to really step into the awareness of, okay, what is the energy out in the collective? And how does that collective energy relate to where you are right now? So I encourage you to follow the patterns. Get curious. Use the gift of discernment. Start discovering who you are. Pay attention to how your body talks to you. Take the time you need to really question, does that feel right for you? Is that the correct path for you? Is that your dream? Is that your vision? Is that where you want to head to? Do you know where you're heading towards? Do you know what it is that you truly want? So this is a time of rest. This is a time of deep contemplation, really listening, not closing off the ears, not following in blindly, but really attuning, noticing where you've come from, noticing what you've learned in the past, bringing that in to consider, do you want to carry some of that forward? Are you ready to put some of that down? Are you ready to stop trying so hard, forcing so much? Are you ready to let go of control and trusting the universe? Are you ready to get on the horse's back and let it guide you? Or are you going to be whipping it, kicking it, pushing it to go as fast as it can so that you don't miss out, only to arrive burnt out, frustrated, hurting, and disappointed? There's many things to contemplate right now. There is many things to consider. When this energy ends, this gate of the listener, when it ends for us on February the 7th, we start an incredible journey through our emotional awareness center. We are purely being stimulated by emotional energy from February the 7th, leading us all the way to the spring equinox. We have one gate activation there that temporarily puts us up in the head. Why? To stimulate doubt. So we have an opportunity to either really listen inwards, to gain your bearings, to gain your stability, to allow emotional awareness to increase your your inner spirit, your passion, your creativity, your self-expression by really paying attention to where you are going, what the emotional current is for yourself, getting clear on those needs, those desires, those dreams, those goals, those ambitions. A lot of times our emotional energy, it is pent up feelings that we haven't allowed ourselves to release. We haven't allowed ourselves to process. So it's really coming into the awareness of honoring your feelings, your emotions, where you are, and not blaming anybody else for them, not blaming the world for them, not taking on somebody else's, because that's theirs to deal with. It's really sitting in your own truth and riding through those waves, whatever it is for you, to bring into that clarity what it is truly teaching you. Yes, this is how I feel today. This is where I am today, and that's okay. And going in deeper to listen to, what are you learning about yourself? What are you learning about others in relationship to yourself? So this is a time of slowing down. It may be a time of speeding up eventually, but first it's slowing down so that if you're at the beginning of that horse race, waiting for that gate to open, and all of the horses are there and they're chomping at the bit and they're pushing forward and they're just waiting and getting anxious and getting ready, well, you got to know when those gates open, where are you going? Or you're going to run out of steam really, really fast. So this is about finding your pace, your place, your direction, and using 2026 and every day, every moment for the greatest good by being the best version of yourself to add to the collective energy. So enjoy this journey. I encourage you to get curious. Go look up your Chinese zodiac sign. Go look up what your element is in Chinese astrology. Do a little search on how that is in relationship to the coming year of the fire horse. Get to know you. Go explore your human design. Go look at your Gene Keys profile. These are all tools that are free to you. What it costs is your time and your willingness to look at yourself and get curious enough to step back, to step inwards. So I send you all much love. Enjoy this beautiful gift, this beautiful pause, this beautiful opportunity to listen so deeply to the wisdom of the ancestors, to the wisdom of the versions of you that have walked this journey. Sit in reverence of that, respect of that, appreciation for that, compassion for that. Don't disregard what you've already walked through. It has been a great, great teacher. So I send you all much love. Namaste. The light in me sees the light in you. And I look forward to traveling with you as we move into that emotional awareness center within your human design charts. And we start to explore the depth of the power of our emotions, our spirit, and really looking at the gifts in there to help ourselves expand that light within. Take care.